Hansa Fish River Canoe Marathon is proudly brought to you by Hansa.
In 1981, 52 paddlers took on the challenge of the Fish River. So 30 years later, there are 1,600 paddlers gathering here on the Grassridge Dam ahead of the start of the 2011 Hansa Fish River Canoe Marathon, an iconic South African sporting event. Day one takes them 46 k's down towards Knutsford. Along the way, they'll meet the characters of the fish, the likes of Double Trouble, Keith's Flyover and Soutpunt's Weir, just three of the famed and fabled obstacles of this great race.
Paddlers converging from every corner of the country on Craddock for the 30th edition of the Hansa Fish River Canoe Marathon.
Oh, die canoe mense meneer, nee, vir my dit gaan baie lekker meneer as hulle hier so is. Geniet dit, maak lekker geld meneer.
Nee, die hele dorp verander, ons raak verskriklik besig. Almal geniet dit, die hele gemeenskap raak betrokke en dit is net jolig. Alles gaan lekker, besighede doen goed.
Baie goeie inkomste, plek loop, kos is goed.
Ons hou daarvan dat die mense van die fiskanoe hier deurkom.
The athletes all grasping the significance of the 30th anniversary and turning out in huge numbers. This race is characterized by slick organization, all coming from local volunteers.
I'm paddling with Len, and Len is probably the most experienced paddler that we've got on this river. He's awesome driver. The river itself is in good condition, nice clean water. And yeah, good race.
Yeah, no, it's always a good race. Fish is kind of the best. I enjoy it.
I'm a bit nervous, it's my first time, but I am looking forward to it. I'm a bit scared of the big rapids, but it should be fun.
I'm a little bit scared, but on the other side I'm excited because it'll be my first time. But trust the guy I'm going to go with. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to race tomorrow.
The main attraction of the fish is the Hansa Pilsner in the new bottle. Oh, fantastic.
The night before all the action starts on the water, there's a fantastic gathering on the Craddock Sports Fields, popularly known as the Fish Forum. Varsity students and paddlers from every walk of life gather and celebrate the race's legends. And here's one of them, Rory Anderson, the only man to have done all 30 editions of this race.
Was maar 'n moeilike eerste marathon geweest. Ja, en as ek net elke jaar gesien hoe groter en hoe groter hy geword het van, ek gaan nou maar sê van 68 roeiers na 1500. Dis ongelooflik en is lekker vir Craddock en cheers op Hansa.
Finansieel dink ek is dit werklik 'n baie groot stimulus vir Craddock en dit is eintlik 'n wonderlike plek met wonderlike mense wat baie gasvry is en ons geniet die mense, ek dink ek meer dat die mense ons geniet.
Day one starts on Grassridge Dam, and after a 3-kilometre pull, there's a portage down to the river, and the action comes thick and fast. Toast rack, and then of course Keith's Flyover, the big rapid at 9 k's. 60% into the day, you'll find Soutpunt's Drift, Weir and Rapid, a key stage, and after that, there's a long pull all the way through to the finish, 49 kilometres downstream. Let's look at some of the big guns. Lance King, fresh off his Breeder victory, and Mark Mulder. Hank McGregor and Grant Van der Walt, the defending champs. Then watch Andy Burkett and Pierre-Andre Rabi. The Frenchmen, Loic Vinissal and Quentin Bonnetain. Then Thomas Slovak and Robert Knebel, fourth last year.
At the moment I'm committed to the fish, so I'm going to go as hard as I can today to hopefully try and win. We'll worry about World Marathon Champs after the fish is finished.
Are you feeling strong?
After Wednesday we feel very unstable, so we hope that today we will not swim, and after that we will see.
30 seconds to the start. Pierre-Andre, big race for you guys. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going well. We're feeling good in the boat, and yeah, we're looking forward to today, so it's going to be lekker.
Andy coming straight off a strong breeder. What's the plan going into the race? How's the boat set up?
Well, the boat's going very well. We're paddling the kayak centre Exterminator. The conditions are looking very great today. Dam's a bit low, but should be a great day of racing out there today.
The start at Grass Ridge Dam, Lamar start style. A batch gets underway and a run down to where the boats are sitting at the dam wall. Paddle out towards a buoy and then a left-hand turn to the corner of the dam wall, which is where the portage will start. And not a great start for the Germans, but as the leading contenders pull across the water, you'll see there's an early morning breeze whipping up a chop as well. But already the top contenders are hanging on to that blue boat of Hank McGregor and Grant van der Walt. A short uphill over the top of the dam wall and then down to where there's some construction work towards the river and the put-in, and already they've thrown down the gauntlet at the front. Hank McGregor and Grant van der Walt sporting the blue colours of their brand new pro racing team, the Team Best 4 Kayak Centre. Michael Mbanjwa and Eric Zondi gearing up for the World Marathon Champs in just 2 weeks' time. Many thought they wouldn't take advantage of this, but they're right up there and looking very competitive. So quick on the put-in, and off they go to try and stay in touch with McGregor and van der Walt. Now, the big weir at Collets, where the double trouble weir kicks in, and the leaders are on their own. This is a bit of a surprise. This is a great start from Hank McGregor and Grant van der Walt. They've taken the easy drop, now they size up the big wave. Smack it head on, no problems at all, and not another boat in sight. They've got a sizable lead this early on. Here come the rest of the chasing pack, winding their way down into that big wave. You don't want to make a mistake here. It'll effectively end your title challenge as the rest of A-Batch streams down the fish steps at the top of the first weir at the brand new double trouble weir. Heaps of fun for all the paddlers. Everybody shoots this. Here come the Czechs, fourth last year. Robert Knebel, and behind him, Tomas Slovak. Behind them, the rest of the paddlers are already streaming over the dam wall. Just enough time to put their splash covers on, and then thrills and adrenaline galore as they pump through the big waves of double trouble. Already Hank McGregor and Grant van der Walt have eked out a minute lead as they head into the approaches to the biggest rapid on the race. This is Keith's Flyover. It's a grade 3 plus monster. And here they come down the left-hand side into the big wave. They size it up, smack it head on. But these guys are so stable in the boat. And with nobody else in sight, they pick their way down to the second hole, smash through that with the sun blazing in the background, and then over the 3 standing waves that mark the exit of the rapid. And the spectators know that they're witnessing the start of a pretty special performance. Then here comes Greg Lowe, refitting his splash cover in the middle of Keith's Flyover. Mike Arthur, his sprint team partner. Greg Lowe was raised on these waters and looking solid in second place, leading the rest of A-Batch out of the big waves that are churning in Keith's Flyover. Not everybody remaining upright. This is a nasty swim if you don't get it right. Now here's Mark Mulder and Lance King picking their way past all the swimmers. They were one of the fast starters last year, but Mark is very much off the boil at the moment, undertrained, and they've got all sorts of admin in front of them at Keith's Flyover.
What's the mood ahead of the start?
Sure, I'm quite tense at the moment. I'm quite nervous, but an excited nervous. It's a wonderful feeling to be here and being racing competitively.
You've been sprinting all year. Have you got the miles under you?
Oh, I know Jen has the miles. She's just come back from Berg, put a lot of distance in. Hopefully I'm just strong enough to hang in there. I think we're just going to race similar to last year and just do our own race, not follow anyone else's race plan.
The women's batch gets underway at the start at Grass Ridge Dam. Also started Lamar start style as they go galloping down to their boats to see who is going to put up their hand for the SA K2 Marathon Champs titles that are being decided at this year's Hunter Fish. The women's race thrown wide open by the late withdrawal of Michelle Ire and Robin Kine, the 2 defending champs. Who's going to put up their hand? No real surprise, because Abby Adey and Hilary Pitchford have already made their intentions clear. Abby Adey, another of the athletes being supported by the brand new Team Best 4 Kayak Centre with a substantial lead. Who's going to be putting the pressure on them? They're already pulling away clear. This is where the pressure is coming from. 2 girls who've been sprinting for the past year. Jen Hodgson, she did manage to come back and do a brave berg, and in the back of her boat, Toti Surfski originally, but now a super sprinter in her own right, Tiffany Kruger. The rest of the girls in A batch realise they've got a shot at a spot on the podium, with the women's field being thrown wide open, but they're going to have to be slick, particularly at the portages. Double trouble, and here come the leaders. The women sliding down double trouble, the first step no problem, and Hilary Pitchford with Abby Adey doing the driving, and Hilary in the back, making this look like child's play. Here comes Jen Hodgson and Tiffany Kruger. They slide down into the big wave, they get engulfed. A little bit of a wobble, they correct it, they pull away clear. The rest of the women's batch sliding down and loving this. This is a great thrill, but it's well manageable. And if you do take a swim, it's certainly within their reach to get to the bank, and there's no real risk of damaging equipment. Abby Adey and Hilary Pitchford sliding under Toast Rack, and Jen Hodgson and Tiffany Kruger. They've been training to do a whole lot of 200 meter races, and there are an awful lot of 200 meter dices in a 49 kilometer stage. The lifesavers on hand to make sure that none of the girls injure themselves. This is a very low duck, and if you get it wrong, there's a risk of pain or some severe injury. The girls being very circumspect and taking the right-hand line down Toast Track, which is also a great seconding spot. Now, here's a surprise. The girls normally opt out of Keats Flyover, but Abby Adey and Hilary Pitchford are styling. They take a snaky line down the center, pick it down the left, calm and composed. They're avoiding the worst of the rough water, and in fact proving to the ladies that shooting Keats Flyover is well within their reach. Masterfully done. Now, are any of the other girls going to chance the same risk? The answer is no for the second place boat, as Jen Hodgson and Tiffany Kruger opt to waste that extra minute and put in without damaging their boat or running the risk of taking a nasty swim. And the majority of the girls in A batch are following suit, not willing to risk life and limb in the rapid and willing to forego that extra minute. The race is already on for the second and third place on the podium, because nobody seems to be willing to chase them. Back at the start, the rest of the paddlers, all the way down to Z batch, queuing up. Nearly 1,700 paddlers on the water.
How are you?
Well, and yourself?
Right, what are you doing here?
I'm just putting in a little bit of a gooze for energy later. So just to grab it, get a good grab on it, you know.
It's an awesome race. Every year come down. It's a great camaraderie, and everyone's just here to have a good time. Fish is the race of the year. Good water, good people. It's the best.
Some big rapids, some nice waves. You know, down from the Cape, we don't always get spoilt with nice water, so we come down to the fish and we have a good time on the river. Some good fun, eh?
I'm the oldest in the boat, so I carry the pedals.
Well, I've got two old geriatrics in the boat. One is first one, he's 9th, mine 21st, and I got problems here with these two old goats.
All I know is the prize is our body weight in beer, and we're going for it.
Yeah, we're hoping for a good day out there, putting a lot of hours. It's hoping for a good paddle across the dam and go for it once we get into the rapids, eh?
It feels great, a little bit nervy early on, but I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic day, and I'm looking forward to that Hansa in 47 kilometers time.
Go, Dad.
Plenty of nerves on the start line as John Oliver's horn gets each of the successive batches underway. You'll see not much urgency here, plenty of casual jogging down to the water, quite unlike A batch, but most of the paddlers have been training for this, and you'll see a lot of K3s, a new world record of K3s, nearly 80 of them on the water, these unique craft tailor-made for the Hansa fish. Paddlers putting in just below the portage at the dam wall, setting off for the short paddle down to the brand new weir at Double Trouble. The race committee's philosophy is simple. They want the paddlers to paddle, so they cut out portages wherever possible. And that's what the Double Trouble weir is all about. It's unique. It's a two-step weir which has no pier anywhere in the world. And the paddlers love it. Unless, of course, you have an unplanned goof in the surprisingly cold waters of the fish. Toast rack, low-level bridge, lifesavers ensuring that the paddlers heading down that extreme right-hand channel get their heads down nice and low. The safety setup at this race is of the highest possible standards. The paddlers know it and appreciate it and are more than happy to cooperate with the instructions of the lifeguards. And the same applies at this monster. This is Keats Flyover. Only 20% of the field is brave enough or good enough to take this on. And here's the fact, only half of that 20% are good enough to get out of here upright. Most of the withdrawals in the race come from accidents just like this.
We thought we'll shoot skis, and we didn't. Halfway through, we got a good swim. Our rudder broke off. Our boat got wrapped in two. But you know the Burkies, we always make something fix them. So we'll carry on in half an hour's time, and that's how we do it.
It's a great race, really pretty. Good scenery, good weather, friendly people. Yeah, everything's good.
Yeah, we're doing it right, eh? Our boat's hopefully going to make it to the end. A bit poked, probably 7 years old. But yeah, water level's lekker. A bit cold, but so be it, eh?
For some, it's admin time. Getting it wrong at Keith's flyover has dire consequences, but you're only 10 k's into an 82-kilometre race. So running repairs are the order of the day. This is a fantastic spectator point. This is the sort of encouragement that will keep the paddlers going for another 35 kilometres on day one. Reverse parking down Keith's flyover, not the sort of thing you would plan to do. The K3 is tailor-made for Keith's flyover. They take a nice central line, but not all of them get through it upright. Once the paddlers have negotiated Keith's flyover and the bridge that follows immediately afterwards, the river widens, the first of the tributaries kicks in, and the whole scene and the moonscape of the Klein Karoo changes. 3rd, 4th and 5th place are chasing. The crew of Greg Lowe and Michael Arthur doing superbly well in 2nd, but this is the crew that is setting the pace. Up front, Hank McGregor and Grant van der Walt throwing down the gauntlet big time.
We're around 27 kilometers into the race, 20 k's from Knutsford. This is Soutpans Weir, and it is a tricky little obstacle with plenty of debris from the rains over the last week here. We have word that Grant van der Walt and Hank McGregor, the defending champions, have opened up a little bit of a lead already in this race. Let's see who gets to Soutpans Weir in first place.
McGregor and van der Walt styling. Look how McGregor's enjoying himself, taking a little bit of time to joke with the spectators and the crowd. But as they approach the key section of Soutpans Drift Rapid, let's shadow them from this unique bird's eye view as they go pounding through the big waters. Hank McGregor driving the boat. In years gone by, they fiddled with this combination, and Grant van der Walt, who himself is a wildwater international and a former marathon world champion. But this combination is clicking. Hank McGregor gearing up for the World Marathon Champs and making it look absolutely easy as he emerges from the bottom. Now, here's the second place boat of Greg Lowe and Mike Arthur approaching Soutpans Drift Rapid. Both of them recently coming off a sprint season, and as they go styling under the bridge, Greg Lowe knows these waters intimately. He and his brother have been regular top performers for the locals in the Eastern Cape in the men's race, and they pick a delicate line down the right-hand side of the rapid, skirting most of the heavy water as the race for the last spot on the podium hots up. And it's interesting to see a couple of characters that nobody expected to be here. Here's Tom Skilperut and Jasper Mokke. Jasper got engaged during the week and celebrating the occasion by being on the Hansa Fish. But a real race on for the 3rd spot on the podium right now. And they're not far off the radar of 2nd place Greg Lowe and Mike Arthur. Onto the portage now. Hank McGregor and Grant van der Walt and the clock watchers can already see a 3-minute plus advantage opening out over Greg Lowe and Mike Arthur. This is an unheard of gap at Katkop Weir as they come motoring down to the finish. The stopwatch says it's 4.5 going on 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Grant was just super strong all the way to the finish, and like I say, we got here in one piece. We're in front, we're winning, and yeah, that's what the fish is all about, just to have a great race.
Abby 80 is still sporting a bloody mouth after an encounter with a tree, and Hilary Pitchford surging downfield to claim the overnight lead.
We had a wonderful run through Keith's, which was fantastic. I mean, Abby drove like an absolute star.
The bottom of Soutpans, in that last stop, I don't know what happened. Just we were out in no time, so I don't actually know what happened there. But
you're carrying the scars of a bit of a war out there.
Yeah, just had to branch in the tree block, so it hooked me on my lip.
Now here's the tail of the tape. McGregor and Van der Walt have all but won this race. They've got a 5.5 minute lead, but the scrap for positions 1 to 6 is mighty, and you'll see a whole lot of internationals sprinkled there as well. The ladies, very similar sort of case, but the margin's even bigger. It's 6 minutes over Jen Hodgson and Tiff Kruger, with Brookman and Gaffney in third.
Well, they're charging through here, and so is the tractor. This is, after all, the Karoo and the farmlands, and they've got to get about their business just as the paddlers are getting about their business down the Fish River.
Heaps of fun on the water too. It's about 500 meters of rough water here, and one of the absolute highlights of this race for every single paddler in the race.
A great atmosphere here at Soutpunts Bridge as the paddlers go underneath us. On top of the bridge, supporters, seconds and family members all awaiting their paddlers. Like Esther here. Esther, who are you waiting for?
For my husband, Andre.
Andre's on his D batch. Esther's son is already through. He's a junior. It's a great spot to be, this.
One of that world record entry of K3s sliding under that concrete slot that defines the entrance to Soutpunts Drift. The paddlers see it from a big arrow marked on the bridge. They then slide out the bottom of the bridge, and now you've got to mind your P's and Q's because the water is rough. And if you get caught in any of those choppy drops, it's a long and nasty swim, which is going to hurt your boat and your shins. Oh, and the rocks already welcoming some of the swimmers to the rapid. But if you get it right, it's an exhilarating ride through the thumping waves. One of the hallmarks of the Hunter fish are the willow trees, which lace most of the first day. Often tricky to spot where the branches are as you go through a veil of thick willows. One spot in particular had some concealed branches that caused havoc in the river and triggered something of a gala immediately below. The race does also have some massive weirs which are completely unshootable, and that's going to force a portage for the paddlers, but a welcome stretching of the paddlers' legs.
Hey, lovely man, short Keats. Unfortunately got about 3/4 of the way through, but we had a nice swim through and recovered the boat well, going well.
I'm loving it, hey, it's magic. This is the best race in the country.
We shot Soutpunts like an absolute dream. It made my whole entire fish. Yeah, but one little swim in the willows, it made double trouble, but my partner's sitting in the back, stabilizing the boat and singing to me, so I'm happy.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's nice river, it's nice weather. Everything is good, man. Thank you for Hunter and the Fish River Marathon. It's good, eh?
Fine, eh? Enjoying it, going easy in the K3, coasting for a change.
Better than a day in the office.
Had a lovely day, no swims. Yeah, hopefully we're getting to the end and have a nice cold Hunter.
It's lovely to be here, the people are great, the river is great, the water is nice and cold, but refreshing, so it's a great day. Thank you.
Great. Tiring though, a lot of flat water, but Soutpunts was good fun. We stayed in, so it was good.
It's a beautiful day on the river. Nice water. Been good fun so far. Had one swim. What a great day, eh? You can't beat it.
I'll tell you what, it's marvellous out there. Bloody spiffing, eh? Chaps, cheerio.
No, I've just seen the lacquer sign on the bridge which says 9, K to the finish. 45-50 minutes, and we've got gas in the tank. It's a lacquer feeling.
Having a great time, got two amazing partners, Dave and Mark, and we're just kicking ass.
Woo! Best race ever! Ever!
Hey, great man. We've got lots of treasure all along the way.
Tell me what's the drink all about, guys? We're in aid of Killer Cancer Care. We're supporting Hunter, which is really giving a good donation to cancer this year. And we're just supporting him along the way and showing our cause for it.
With the temperature in the Karoo soaring for the final 19 kilometres, everybody had to dig deep until the welcome sight of the finish just below Knutsford.
Rosie, President of Canoeing Western Australia, what did you find out about the Fish River here today?
I loved every minute of it. It was just amazing. I was just saying to the boys when we got excited seeing the finish line, it was a perfect balance. We had great paddling, great swimming, and great portaging. It was just perfect balance.
For the Hunter brand, it's about a special ingredient, and we all know that the special ingredient for the Hunter fish is the paddlers. You know, this is a paddling race by paddlers. The paddlers organise it and they do everything, and they do an absolutely fantastic job for an amateur group who behave like true professionals.
There's a priceless grin here. How was the day?
Awesome, really cool.
What is really cool about it?
The water, big water. It's the first time I've done it, so it was really fun.
It's a long day, Gerald, and some swimming, some unplanned swimming.
Why on earth are you swimming in the river?
Because it was warm and I had to cool off. And I need to practice that high arm action every now and then.
There was tough and hard, and for the first time, me and my partner paddling together, and we didn't able to get the time to train together.
And double trouble did give us trouble, and then we all gave our best to the finish.
End of the day stage, it's all about the Hunter and the post-mortem. What's happening in the post-mortem here, guys?
I'll tell you what, the guys did well today, but tomorrow's another day. They didn't do well, let's just carry on. Thanks, guys.
A burry roll, an ice-cold Hunter, and a chance to rest and recover for stage 2. The Hunter Fish River Canoe Marathon is proudly brought to you by Hunter.